Hi scientists, I want to show you how to make a graph for your design lab using Excel. So we need to start by making a data table, and we're going to start by putting our x-axis variable, so our independent variable, it's going to go in the left-hand column. In this instance, the data that I'm going to use is going to be the relationship between current and potential difference. So in this case, I'm going to put my independent variable as current. So current, and the units are amperes, and the data that I've collected looks like this. And we'll just type that in, 04, 04, 0.03. I like to make that a little more tidy, so I'm going to put the data in the middle, and I'm going to bold the headers. Now, my independent variable, or my y-axis variable, is going to be potential difference, or voltage. And the units are volts. So for this one, I'm going to put my data in here, and you can see that I'm typing with 1 decimal place, but Excel is rounding it to no decimal places. We're going to fix that in a minute. I want to have my data collected accurate or recorded accurately to what I have collected. So to put back my decimal places, I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to add in, but I only need 1 because my measurements were only to 1 decimal place. To make my graph, the kind of graph that I want to see here, and we know from Ohm's law, I should be looking for a linear relationship between intensity and potential difference, or rather between potential difference and current intensity. So let me grab the data, and then we're going to go to Insert, and what we want is a scatter plot. So we'll do the scatter plot that looks like that. And here I can see I've got it the right way around because I can tell that my numbers along the x-axis represent my data for current, which was my independent variable, and my numbers for the y-axis correspond to my data for potential difference, my dependent variable. What we don't see on this graph so far is the axes labeled correctly. So we want to add in the axis titles. So I'm going to add axis titles here. And I also want to add a trend line. So if I click trend line, I'm going to double check that I've got a linear trend line, which I do. And I also want to click on more options because I want to know the slope of that line. And in order to find the slope of that line, I'll click display equation on the chart, and then I'll get my equation. And I know that my equation for the line, for the straight line, is y equals mx plus b, where m is the value of the slope of the line. And in this case, that's 99.474. Since my data is recorded here, the smallest number to 1 decimal place, I'm going to round that off to 99.9. And of course, and that of course is related to or equivalent to my resistance in this circuit, which is measured in ohms, or recorded in the unit ohms. Last little things to fix up. I'm going to give my chart a descriptive title. I want to give each axis a title and include the units for each variable in that axis title. So that's what your graph is going to look like that you will submit with all of the information that you're going to need for your lab on resistance.